Hi, my name is Olu George, and I've just written what I consider to be possibly the most important book you've ever read. It's titled Stress Less, Live Full. Imagine with me for a minute a life without fears, anxieties, worries, shame, depression, and regret. And also imagine a life filled with supernatural joy, extraordinary peace, and a vibrant hope, even in the middle of the unprecedented events of 2020 and 2021. You don't just have to imagine it. That can be your experience. Come with me. Let me teach you what God has taught me. This is Stressless 100 series. Welcome to Stressless 104, Conclusion and Remarks. We really cannot do justice to this book in 4 short videos. So I'll run through what we have left, and it's a bit. I deal with guilt and inferiority. Did you know that guilt is the greatest cause of mental illness? Did you know that guilt is the greatest weapon that Satan has ever invented against man? Only Christianity offers freedom from guilt. I also deal with in the book with the subject of the simplicity of Christ. You see, modern man is very complex, but the sin problem is a very simple one. The spiritual life is a simple one. There is beauty in simplicity. There is, in fact, genius in simplicity. The Apostle Paul was very concerned that the church of the time was moving away from the simplicity of Christ. Think of the greatest mind that ever lived, Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. I mean, at the age of 12, he could engage the professors and the doctors of the law in theological debates, asking them questions they couldn't answer. Yet he would communicate his message to farmers, and simple folk, poor folk, uneducated folk could relate to him. He could hold his own with the highest intelligentsia of the day, and yet he could also be comfortable in the presence of simple folk. I deal with deliverance from legalism. I deal with the weight and the burden of ingratitude. I deal with something I've never read about in any book: boredom, especially for young people. Then I give practical tips on things you need to do physically to live a stress-free life: diet, exercise, aromatherapy, and a few other things. And then we dealt with the burden of disappointments. In life, you are going to face disappointments. You'll come out better or bitter. There's a way to handle disappointments according to the Word of God. And then I deal with a subject that I think is very important. I call it His yoke, His burden. Now, Jesus didn't promise us a stress-free, worry-free, fear-free life so we could be comfortable. He promised us that as a consequence of taking on His burdens and bearing His yoke, of the things that matter to Him becoming priority for us. I bring the book to a conclusion with final promises and the definition of God's agenda for the end time. In short, God is building an army, a great army, a powerful army, an army that is too tough to be intimidated, to be cowered into submission, to be molded into the shape of the world. The only way to walk in this stressless life is a revelation so intense, so real, so intoxicating at times, that it provokes a natural response. Yes, we all have knowledge, but there is a knowledge of the head and there's a knowledge of the heart. On the pages of this book, the Spirit of God breathes through. But my spirit, based on my walk with God, also breathes through. You will have a supernatural experience that will change your life and touch you. Even others will notice. You see, Satan is strong in the ignorance business because Satan is the prince of ignorance. But when light comes, darkness becomes helpless. May you encounter the light of God in the pages of this book. Please go to olujudgeministries.global, place your first order, and I'll give you a 20% discount. I thank you for watching this video, and may God bless you. I have a dream that millions of people will read this book and be touched by it. But I know that millions cannot afford this book. And the Lord has put in my heart to get this book into the hands of prisoners, students, and the less privileged who cannot afford it. So if you want to help me to get 2 books, 10 books, 20 books, 50 books, even 1,000 books into the hands of those who have value for the books but cannot afford it, go to olujudgeministries.global and click on the button that says partner/The Great Company. You'll be taken to a page where you'll be shown how you can help me get the books out. Thank you very much for your kind generosity. God bless you.